I may have just found the perfect backpack. Let's take a look. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Enoch Rasmussen. Today we're looking at my personal McKinnon camera pack by Nomatic. It's a 35-liter backpack that is very, very well organized and maybe, almost maybe, the perfect backpack. So first of all, I'm just gonna give you an overview of everything that I have in this bag, and then we'll kind of talk about some of the things that I like and I don't like about the bag, and there are some things I don't like about the bag, and maybe some things that would be good for a Peter McKinnon Nomatic camera pack Mark II or version 2, 2.0, however Nomatic's gonna do it. I really hope they do. Now, I travel a lot for work, and when I say I travel a lot, I really do mean that. I basically live out of 2 bags, and this is one of them. So it already tells you that I like this bag because I'm very particular about how I pack my stuff, and I love how organized this bag is. So let's take a look. First of all, we have the side water bottle pocket slash tripod pocket pouch thing. It is magnetically closable so that when you're not using it, it folds flat, which is really, really awesome. You can see that there. I don't have another camera set up. I'm sorry, I'm in an Airbnb. Forgive me. I also took off the tripod mount here because I usually travel with a lot of gear for work, but it's work's equipment, not mine. But I'm still able to sometimes have a little bit of room to throw in my personal tripod if I need to. So this isn't necessarily a big deal for me, but I like the fact that this has grip handles all the way around the bag. And it's a pretty heavy bag. Now that I'm holding it, it is a pretty heavy bag. But for considering the fact that this is one of the 2 bags that I basically live out of, I can deal with that. Now coming to this side, we have a quick release pocket here that you can grab a camera out of. I don't really use that, so it's kind of Velcroed closed right now. But then we'll go to the back. So we've got a laptop pouch right here where I have my laptop inside of, and works great. Not a lot of frills. This is kind of like the boring stuff before we get into the really cool stuff. So let's unzip this and start looking at the magic that is this bag. Oh, one thing I failed to mention, there is a suitcase sleeve here, so you can put your suitcase through and put it on top of it. I do that all the time at the airport because this thing is super heavy, but it's also awesome. And the straps are comfortable. They've got little grip things on the sides as well that you can mount things onto. I normally will mount a case on for my inflatable pillow that I wear in the airplane and a sleep mask that covers my eyes so I can actually sleep on the airplane. Works out really well, but I'm able to take that off quickly, put my bag in the carry-on, and it's not a big deal. So first of all, this is kind of how I pack stuff. I'll tilt it like this so you guys can see. This is kind of how I pack stuff for trips that I'm doing. And so let's kind of break it down and talk about what each thing is. First of all, we have the McKinnon Camera Cube. I think that's what it's called. It's the Camera Cube. It's a really cool bag. It's got some really, really cool features. But first of all, it is the camera case in my backpack. So I have my, do this carefully, I have my Sony a7 III. I've got a battery grip, a sensor blower inside of it. I've got a 50mm lens. This zips up and allows me to use it as just a regular camera case, or you can unzip this top layer right here and it becomes its own backpack, which is really cool. This bag is very heavy, so if I just want the cameras and I don't really care to have 10 terabytes of storage and all sorts of other stuff with me, I just want my cameras, I've actually used this to just walk around with, and it works out really, really well. This also opens up on top and you can fill it with stuff. I don't know what you would fill it with, but I think I put like a battery charger in there at one point and some stuff just because I could. And actually, I know what it was. I was putting some Sony NPF batteries in there for some lights that I was using, and it works out really well. So I'm gonna pack this up and let's look at the next pieces. So moving on to what I've got here, this is the accessory case, and I've got quite a few things in here. I've got quite a few SanDisk hard drives, SSDs that I just put up in this top pouch right here. I've also got sensor cleaners, which are awesome. If you don't carry those, you need to put them in your bag. They're amazing. Then I've got a GoPro in here, lens cloth, a Sony battery charger, and a GoPro charger, all packed in here. Let's just zip that back up. and it fits perfectly in here, which is really awesome. I've got a first aid kit because travel, and then I've also got another Sony battery charger because I use a lot of Sony batteries. The next really cool piece of equipment in here, I think this is just gonna work to hold this like this. I don't know if that's weird, but again, I'm only using that one camera. So this right here is the Nomatic Tech Organizer. I paid 50 bucks for this, I think. I wasn't really sure, but I was like, it said Nomatic, so I'll pay it. And honestly, I do honestly think it's worth 50 bucks. Normally I wouldn't say that, but it is. I really like it. So this right here holds everything I need for all my tech organizational things. I've got cables up here for hard drives to all those SSDs. I've got cables for them. I've got a little Apple Magic Mouse here. I've got a USB-C dongle for my for my MacBook Pro rather. I have my charger cable for my MacBook Pro, a couple Apple charger cables, the cables for these drives, these little C drives right here. I've got this is really cool. The fact that this pouch right here perfectly fits the MacBook Pro charger, that's just really cool. I also carry an Apple Watch charger in here and a wall mount USB charger to charge my phone and my Apple Watch, but it's actually plugged into the wall right now. This is important. Pens are important when you live out of 2 bags. I don't carry pens in my pockets. If they explode, that's not cool. And this is the only spot that I can find conveniently to put pens. So I've got a pen, I've got a lens pen, I've got a Sharpie in there. Works out well, except for the fact that you have to dig in here to get it. That's the only thing I don't really like about this bag so far, is I haven't found a good spot to put pens. Moving on, I've got a rain cover for the bag if I really need it. It's not the Nomatic one. It's just one I had from a different bag that fit this just perfectly. So I've got that in there if I really need it. I also will put my Sony WHX 900s, I think is what they're called, the Bluetooth headphones, and I'll put them in here. They noise cancel really well for when you're on a plane. Next, I've got a glasses case. I carry some blue light glasses in here and some sunglasses when I need it. Just works out really well. And then just because I think it's cool, I really don't necessarily need it right now, but I've got a life straw because it's cool to be able to carry a life straw. So again, I don't really need it in here, but at least at the moment, maybe with some more travel that we'll do when things open back up, maybe that would be, useful. But at the moment, it's just kind of cool. Moving on, I've got 2 Lassie or Lackey. I don't know how you say that. Somebody comment down below, how do you say that brand? This brand right here that makes these hard drives. I've got 10 terabytes of storage in here, which is awesome. Backups are amazing, and so these 2 are redundant. I've got some lens cleaner in here, which, yeah, you just need lens cleaner. And then I've got an SD card wallet in here as well. Works out great. I've got it completely full of SD cards, and it works really well. So I'll put this back together. I have the Peter McKinnon battery case, which is actually pretty cool. It's got a really cool feel to it. It snaps really nicely. That's just so satisfying. And then I also have some gum because flights. Then up here, right in here, I have, I've got a Atomos Shogun adapter for the Shogun, which I'm using to monitor what I'm doing right now. That's great. That's what pulls the video off the hard drive so I can put it into my computer. I've got my iPad that I use for work stuff. Sometimes I use a second screen when I'm editing on the road. It works out really well, and it fits nicely in this pocket right here, this pouch, and it's kind of just made for just the size of an iPad, which works out really decently well. So I'll put that back together. That's kind of the inside of this bag so far. Like I said, I really like how everything has a specific spot. I know if I grab this case, I have all my tech stuff. If I grab this case, I have basically all my photography stuff that I travel with on the road as a regular basis. Oh, I didn't mention, I travel with a 24-105 f4 and then the 50 1.8 because they kind of get me exactly what I need, and they're also very small and consolidated to be able to fit on the road with me. I do have access to a lot of other nicer cameras when I'm actually filming, so this is mostly just my personal stuff that I might use for whatever. So next up, we've got this zippered area here, which is actually very cool. Let's check it out. So first of all, this thing, I don't know what you call it, this little constraint thing, helps you pack clothes really tightly up against the backpack here, which when I'm actually on the road in an airport, I'll put a change of clothes in here, because if I get separated from my suitcase, I want to be able to have everything I need to be able to function for a little bit. If a flight gets delayed or when a flight gets canceled, I am set for a decent amount of time. So I have some backup toiletries in here. I've got a Cliff Bar because sometimes stuff happens. I've got some extra masks in here, a couple other toiletry-ish things, socks and underwear, things like that. Then inside this area right here, like I said, I've got some toiletries, and then up top, I've got a sleep mask, I've got my AirPods, I've got another Sharpie. Now, this is the one thing that really annoys me about this bag, is there aren't good organizational places. Like, as far as organization, this bag is awesome. It is super cool, but there's like no good place for pens. So Nomatic, can you put like some pen places in there? I know we don't use paper as much as we used to, but when you live on the road, like you have to use pens for certain things. So sorry, that's just totally a weird first world problem. I've got a battery backup charger thing in here that I carry. Then what's really cool is there's this zipper area right here, and it opens up like a book, and you can have extra stuff in there. So I've got my journal, which keeps me sane. I write everything down in here. It's awesome. If you don't write your stuff down, write things down. It really, really helps out in life. I just really, really like it. Oh, snacks from the last flight I was on. This is real life, guys. That's what's in there. So this area, put my Sharpie away. This area is really, really well made. I really like it. Now let's move on to the next portion. This last bit I'm not as happy with. I've really liked the back of the bag to the front, but this front area, it's not as cool. First of all, just real world, this gets scratched up a lot going in and out of the overhead bins on the airlines. And also I found that this little McKinnon Nomatic emblem thingy metal piece right here, it gets stuck on some things sometimes in the smaller airline overhead bins. And it actually pulled out one of the rivets here, which is kind of annoying. But again, this isn't really to look pretty. I like it to look pretty, but also I live out of this. So function over looks here. I've got a little lock on this because I keep my passport in this area. I keep my press creds and my passport in the magnetized safe area where it kind of blocks electromagnetic stealing and stuff like that. I don't know what you really call that. Somebody comment down below, what's the RFID safe? That, it says it right here. RFID safe. It's an RFID safe pouch there, which is nice. And then I also just keep a small RGB light in here along with a couple other things. But again, there's not really a good spot for pens. Also, this is a pretty tight pouch here. Once you have everything in here, which I understand I pack a lot in this bag, but it's decently tight to the point where when I get my baggage claim tickets when I'm in the airport, I don't want to stuff them in my pockets. I'd like to put them in a pocket somewhere. On my last backpack, if you look a couple months ago, back in, I don't know, it was like September or August, I reviewed a backpack that I had been using up until that point, and it had a little pouch on the back right here that I would stuff those tickets in there that I probably was going to throw away, but I wanted to hang on to just in case. And I was able to use those just fine. But this one, this is really the only quick access spot on the bag. And I also put a lock on it because I don't want my stuff stolen. And it would be decently easy to get it stolen. So yeah, is this the perfect backpack? Almost. It's so close. For somebody who lives out of 2 bags, this is amazing. I haven't seen another bag that's close to this. just as far as the thought that went into the organizational aspect of it, the fact that everything is in its place, there's not a lot of wasted space. I really, really like that. It's durable. It's the material is great. Yes, it is a little scratched up, but it's not terrible. I think it's going to last me a while. My only complaint really is I don't find a good spot to put pens and random junk that I accumulate in the airport that I need to hold on, receipts I need to expense, whatever. I'd love there to be a small little pouch somewhere that I could just shove some stuff in and then be able to throw it out later. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, not everybody's doing what I'm doing with this bag, so this may be the perfect bag for you, but it also may be a little overkill. I mean, the bag is decently expensive. I think I paid $400 something with those extra accessories that I showed you before. But was it worth it? Yes, I would totally pay $400 something again to get this bag, especially if Nomatic made a Mark II version of the bag, or a 2.0, whatever you want to call it. If you're going to go with Canon's look and feel, call it the Mark II. Anyway, guys, that wraps up the review for me. I hope it was helpful. I hope you know whether you would like to get this bag or not. And if you liked this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and let me know, would you buy this bag for around $400 or $350 plus all the other add-ons that I got? Let me know in the comments down below what you would like Nomatic to change about this bag if they were to make a second version of the bag. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.